Hi there, Cancer. Thank you so much for tuning in. Welcome, welcome. We're here for you. This is your full moon, personal full moon in Aquarius reading. And it is for you the sign of Cancer. But of course, right, there is going to be naturally a focus on the sign of Aquarius for everyone here, regardless of your sun sign. As we all have Cancer energy in our birth chart as well, somewhere in the chart. So I recommend, if you're curious to know, let's say what themes or concepts will be brought up here for you at this time, I would recommend to look at your personal birth chart and see where you have Aquarius sitting in the chart. For example, by way of house, by way of planet. Okay, let's say you've got maybe your sun in Cancer, you could have a Venus in Aquarius, for example. So look at your birth chart and see where you have certain alignments that might also bring forward the concept of Aquarius. And another example might be, where do you have your Uranus placement? Because at the time of your birth, right, even if your sun in Cancer, it doesn't mean that Uranus as a planet disappears. You still have that frequency in the chart and at play in some shape or form or another. So in some way. So take a look at your chart, and it's always personal to you, of course, how you end up working with those frequencies and how they will end up being relevant for you at any point in time, at any full moon in Aquarius, new moon in Aquarius. Let's get into it here, Cancer. This is a huge cycle here that I feel you've been moving through. I'm going to just come out and say it right off the bat. Of course, with everything that comes forward, okay, that is, sort of, we'll say expansive, evolutionary. There has always been a period of transformation, okay, of challenge as well, and of the need to realize what did not work, okay? What was, let's say, just a theory, and what it is that we want to say for certain we're ready to release and let go of, and to now step into the space of practice with, where we say, you know what, I made my decision. That's an absolute no, and this is where I'm really headed, and I'm going to be brave and say it out loud. I'm hearing this from a number of you. So what I was getting as I was meditating on your energy before I turn on the camera, Cancer, is that there is like a major point where you sort of want to make so clear and so distinct what is theory and what is practice. Now that, let's say, can be meant in a number of ways, and I invite you to sort of meditate on how this message might resonate with you and in what way it might be felt now when watching this. And you can always come back to a reading down the line and find that, wow, that theory and that theme really ended up sort of meaning something else, for me. But getting back to it, I'm hearing Aquarius. There is something that Cancer, there is something that, I'm hearing, it's almost like it becomes either really real to you or really irrelevant almost, in the sense of saying, and I don't see you kind of wanting to make, a problem about, what doesn't work for you at this point in time, but it's just a matter of being honest, okay, where you say, I just don't feel connected to this I'm hearing anymore. And, it's a point of authenticity, okay, with your higher self and being, again, I'm hearing brave and calling it out as that. So now what I'm getting for a number of you, Cancer, is that you become aware of something over time, possibly for a number of you. Let's clear it. Yeah, there are influences that you had to you had to release, okay? And it was really, a matter possibly of when. Maybe you knew eventually it's going to get to this point. And this is a reading that may bring energies forth from about 6 months ago, a year ago, several years ago, okay, months ago. Always take it as you will. We are working with a full moon, right? That is a point of culmination. So depending on the influences also, again, in your personal birth chart, there could be things coming up from even past lives, and especially because I'll say this as well before we get into the cards and into further channeling, we're touching upon a huge karmic cycle here, given that about 6 months ago at the new moon in Aquarius, we had a crazy conjunction between Saturn and Jupiter. Okay, that is expansion and contraction in and of itself. They were conjuncting at 29. Jupiter was at 29 degrees of Aquarius. So we really saw, quite a bit here that, inevitably we would be working with down the line. I'll say it as well in that way. It was a really karmic time, and so we're possibly experiencing certain themes that were present at that time here now in a new way. Let's clear it, from a new light, from a new lens now, and vantage point. Let's clear it. Yeah, from a new vantage point. I'm hearing, I cannot afford to not speak my truth. Now, let's get the cards out for you, Cancer. Let's clear the throat chakra there. Okay. Now, thank you guys for tuning in. If you're resonating with these themes here coming forth, feel free to hit the like button. We've got the Ace of Pentacles here. no. I'm hearing Cancer, like, there's no more going back. You're done with what is the decision for you as being that, as being considered that. I'm hearing I don't have the capacity any longer to recognize what holds me back from recognizing instead what I want to actually reinvigorate in my life. Let's clear it. Yeah, for some of you, you have to let something go. The Nine of Swords, again, we said it's not necessarily, simple, the world in reverse. This could be a number of, karmic experiences with the world in reverse. Let's clear it. I'm hearing C-A-R, car. I'm hearing maybe there were certain experiences here with a number of people. It's like, I'm hearing, I gotta just let it go. I gotta just let it go. I'm hearing car ride on the car ride. The world in reverse, Nine of Swords of Bright, the High Friend in reverse. For a number of you, I'm hearing call me. For a number of you, you might have been dealing with an Aries. I'm seeing this for a number of you. But that could be a particular message. A Taurus, I'm hearing that. Something, even a Leo, I'm hearing that. Queen of Wands. Yeah, some of you, there is something here that it just, you have to realize what it is for what it is. And it's like, is this a theory or is this a practice? I'm hearing, is it something that is a motivation point for me, or is it something that I'm trying to make a movie of and make it make sense in some kind of way? Then not the Ten of Pentacles. Yeah, it's not even the Nine of Cancer. I'm hearing it's the 10. It's like, this is what it is for me. I'm hearing, listen, you got the 10 at the base of the ace. I'm ready. If anything, I feel like you've already made this decision. It's just a matter now of calling it out. We're going to pull a Celtic cross here for you, Cancer. We just passed through your personal new moon, and that was quite a cycle. So now we're leading into that full moon, again, in Aquarius. We're meeting at that quarter stage in Libra, right around the 17th, 18th. Let's clear. I'm filming this just a day prior, on the 16th. So, this is a period where, well, let's clear it one second. This is, we're right in between these two sort of, I'm hearing hedge stones. I don't know what that's alluding to, take it as you will. These two sort of really momentous, sort of turning points here. The new moon in your own sign and the full moon yet again in Aquarius. So interesting that you are, preceding that particular culmination point yet again. The moon upright. Some of you got to call something out. I'm seeing somebody going to call somebody. They're like, that's it, I gotta say this for what it is. Now, I recommend to think about 6 months back, the last new moon in Aquarius, around December, January. What was going on at that time? What themes were coming forward for you? The Nine of Wands upright. You could be touching upon certain, themes here around this time in relation to that period. The Judgment card upright. The Death in reverse, yeah. Let's clear it. No, it's time for something new. I'm hearing that with the Justice card upright. Like, even if it is a similar situation and you're taking it on in just a different way, the Lovers upright. Yeah, maybe some of you are actually calling something out and saying, if that's appropriate for you, so be it. It's not appropriate for me, and that's where I'm at. Some of you, maybe this was even like a kind of potential collaborative space, and you had to just, be very, very clear and say, I'm not going to be involved in that. The Magician upright, maybe someone wanted to kind of get you, involved with their story. The Ten of Swords in reverse justice. You got to simplify something here. I'm hearing that as you see it. Two of Swords here at the base of that. Yeah, this was actually possibly really, it was kind of something, it was weighing on the back of your mind, and maybe you knew how you felt about this, but you just didn't call it out for whatever reason. I'm also seeing the moon there, yeah, mirroring that Two of Swords, and you lead out with the Five of Cups on the Ten of Swords in reverse. I feel like you know what you need to do. It's again, I'm hearing Cancer, I'm hearing with Leo, Aries, you have to just kind of just do it, is what I'm getting, as you might feel it. You got the Nine of Wands leading. Yeah, there's a little bit too much maybe even going on. I'm hearing it was maybe something that was making you feel anxious. Now, for some, there's always divine timing at play, right? Okay. That's why we have these cycles, we'll say, also potentially where we can see it in that way. It's always what you make it, but astrology, as I see it, is sort of a cycle of ascension as well. So specifically the moon cycles, right? And that's why I sort of tend to work with the moon cycle every month, reading on the moon, the new moon, the full moon, so on. Let's clear it around. Yes, because, and I recommend, if you are specifically looking at the moon stages, I would also read on your moon sign. Look at, let's say, your moon sign as the full moon. Okay, how do we say it? Like, let's say your moon is in Scorpio. I would look at the Scorpio, for example, reading here for the full moon in Aquarius. That's just an example, but always take it as you will, whatever you feel guided to watch, of course. The Sun upright, Ten of Swords in reverse, and of course you're reading on energy, which is timeless as well. So, yet again, there could be, things coming up. Now, for a number of you, I'm seeing that this is, something that was not necessarily clear maybe you were not aware of, well, why do I feel this way about whatever. I'm hearing also this person, Justice Upright. You could be dealing with someone who's got a lot of Libra in their chart, or it can be something where you were even involved in a certain contract. It's like, let's clear it, even a soulmate. You're like, I know they're a soulmate. I just don't understand why this doesn't feel right to me. I'm hearing that. Ten of Swords in reverse, Justice Upright. You might want to look at your synastry with that individual. The Seven of Cups upright. There could be something here. Yeah. Definitely. For a number of you, there was, something that was even draining you. For a number, you got Pluto contacts, possibly with the South Node. I'm hearing that. Something was not feeling right there. I mean, for whatever reason, Six of Pentacles in reverse, Knight of Pentacles in reverse, Four of Swords right. But the way you would be able to tell what this is, Cancer, is that every so often it would kind of like make you feel less than, okay? It's not, it's not a streamlined, sort of invigorated, okay, let's clear it. Yeah, something was not balanced. Three of Swords in reverse, and you knew something was lingering there, something was lurking. I'm hearing that as well. It's like something just doesn't feel right. I'm hearing that. The Moon upright, Three of Swords in reverse. But I feel, Cancer, even if, let's say, you're dealing with a certain situation here, okay, that, there was a sensation to it, but it's almost like you couldn't put your finger on it, but you felt it. Maybe it was just a matter of, I didn't quite prioritize making the decision on it. Interesting. So I'm seeing for now, there's something let's clear it. Ooh, clear the throat chakra, Cancer. There was something, I'm seeing this is a process of over the last 6 months especially. You pulled something out. You pulled out of something. I'm hearing that as well. It took a lot. I'm hearing to do that. Three of Swords in reverse. You actually pulled even yourself out of a contract, with the Three of Swords in reverse. You had to say it out loud. I'm hearing that as well. Really clearly. Hey, I cannot. I'm hearing car ride. I cannot. Someone was like giving someone a ride back and forth. I'm hearing call me. Yeah, no, it was a repetitive cycle even. Yeah, you had to end something. Page of Pentacles leading you out. Three of Pentacles upright, mirror, and the Three of Swords in reverse. There was just something that you felt in your bones. This is not going in, and this is not going to lead me to where I want to go. That's what we hit on with the Three of Swords in reverse. I want to feel this way, and it's just all I know. Let's clear it. Yeah, all I know is that this is not making me sort of giving me the inspiration, okay, to move in that direction. So yeah, definitely look at your synastry. Possibly you could have heavy South Node contacts with this individual. I'm seeing that with the Three of Swords in reverse. I'm seeing for anybody possibly even in the third house, something with Pluto. I'm hearing Mars. I'm hearing Gemini as well. Take it as you will. Venus, I'm hearing that. Let's clear it. Aries, I'm hearing that as well. Possibly the South Node contacts could be Aries. Take it as you will. In Aries or something related to Aries. Again, Mars. Let's clear in the heart chakra. Yeah, so let's see it. The Three of Swords in reverse and the Three of Pentacles upright. Yet again, those moments when you meet someone and you're like, well, it's like you don't want to maybe, the timing, obviously, okay, if something's coming up at this time, there's a reason, but I keep hearing theory, practice. There was maybe a hope, a dream, or something where you said, well, I can kind of like see it, but there's something that was the point is it didn't feel right to you. It's like, for whatever reason, it's like, I feel like I can get to the next level. So maybe you decided to just kind of move out of what you didn't necessarily even feel like you could understand, okay, why it wasn't feeling, okay, right to you. Now, this came through in the Sagittarius reading. Let's clear it and ground. Yeah, I feel like down the line you will understand more clearly, even more so. Even if you still let this go without really understanding, well, like, I don't really get what's going on here, but like, all I know is that like we ended the contract, or we ended the content, creating the content, maybe that, even maybe you ended a certain aspect of the relationship or the cycle. I feel like down the line, okay, it will become way more clear to you. The Hangman in reverse, 10 of Wands right. Like when you make this decision, it's just going to feel so much more lighter. I'm hearing that, so much more light. The four of Cups in reverse, King of Cups upright. Yeah, you will start manifesting here, Cancer. You're going to get back into your feeling, your vibe. Okay, it's like that moment when you realize, like, I didn't realize my backpack was like seriously so heavy. What the hell is in here? And you're like looking at these rocks you got in there. It's like, I'm take this shit out. What is this? I'm hearing that Five of Cups upright. And there's something karmic, you guys. Like, it's a matter, and that's why we do this really deep spiritual cleansing work, because we get to that point where we say, that's it. Even if someone maybe else says it doesn't matter, it matters to me, and I make the decision here with my higher self to part ways, to be brave, to let it go. Finally, the Chariot in reverse. For some of you, this is really challenging because it can be something quite sentimental with a Three of Swords in reverse, Chariot in reverse. It's something that has a history to it. That's the point. It's part of the lesson potentially, and this is a general reading. Always take it as you will. I would recommend watching your Venus sign for matters of relationships, love. I would recommend watching your moon sign for matters of also, even history and past and possibly even family. But with the Chariot and the Three of Swords in reverse, this is something that really, maybe you at a certain point you were very invested, or there was a lot of respect here, so-called, you're in a really heavy contract here. You had to you're like, I don't know why I have to say goodbye. I have to say no. Now let's continue. Yeah. I'm hearing, it was something that struck me as off. I'm hearing that Five of Cups and the Death card, Three of Swords in reverse. Yeah, but again, I feel like you don't recognize exactly the gravity of what exactly this was until, you do not. I'm hearing possibly still, and but you will understand it way more obviously down the line. And I'm seeing maybe for a slight number of you, if you are, let's say, the parent to a Cancer child, it's like you could be making a decision that is best that could be the mirroring here. Like, I'm making a decision that I know they will appreciate down the line so much more. They don't see it now, but they will down the line. I'm seeing that. Okay, Ace of Wands upside down. Maybe for a number of you even said, no, I don't want to get involved in a certain opportunity here. It was something you just made the decision of kind of like, I'm hearing even last minute. Maybe you didn't think so much about it. But again, I'm hearing down the line, it's like, damn, I see you kind of realizing the gravity of that move you've made, the Ace of Wands. It's like, and this actually came through another reading. Let's clear it around. Yeah. You could also be dealing with a Scorpio. Someone's got a lot. Well, I mean, yeah, and that's something about the contacts, Pluto contacts, Pluto Mars to the South Node. Ace of Wands. It's like you kind of said, well, I think I'm not going to attend that event. And you didn't think much of it, but there was just something that, even just like, it was intuition. I just intuitively felt like I don't want to be here. I'm hearing that as well. At this time, I'm hearing that as well. And, you didn't necessarily like write it off, like, well, however, but down the line, it's like at the time that you were going to meet with that person at that event, it's like you ended up going somewhere else and doing something else here, and it's like you ended up sort of appearing in a situation, interesting, that you did see yourself in. Oh, Hangman in reverse. So it's kind of like a blessing in disguise. You don't quite see it though. I keep saying that. You don't quite maybe get it. The Hangman in reverse, like the fact that you released yourself from scenario A, okay, really lent itself to allow you to fully, be energetically, emotionally available for situation B, context B, and that's also physically. So maybe for a number of you, like you didn't realize maybe to what extent your emotional reality was actually influencing maybe your financial story, your physical experiences, yes, your physical energy levels. I'm hearing that as well. It's like, I didn't realize like this emotional, like maybe if it's even a show you're watching or some conversation you're involved in, or even like, let's say a contract you're in, but that, how do we say, like, you're not even participating in, it's more of like a theory thing. Maybe someone had written your name even on a list. It's like, there is something when you actually just cut it out for good. And again, I'm not saying that it was something that made a huge, like, drastic transformation in that moment. It still held such a weight on so many other levels. Tower in reverse. You actually, no, this is a huge move. Follow your intuition. You got the Magician upright in the center of your spread. Follow your intuition, Cancer. Even if it doesn't necessarily, like, okay, I don't understand why it's, like, so important to, like, get rid of the spider. Like, he lives in my house. It's like, there's a moment here. The Tower in reverse, Five of Swords in reverse, everything holds energy. I'm hearing that as well. Holds weight. Justice leading you out. There's even, like, an object that possibly you're, like, thinking of getting rid of. I'm hearing that as well. Now, let's pull the cards here for you, Cancer. I want to pull a Celtic Cross. Wow, what a cycle. This is, This is... And I'm seeing that, the work that you do really lends to transformation here on Earth as well, and the ascension of the collective. So just know that the work that you carry out here personally with your higher self is of utmost importance when it comes to also the ability for others to find that same vibration in their own life. In other words, you are an inspiration. Okay, the Six of Wands upright in the deep past. Yeah, let's clear it. You were heavily involved in something here. Maybe you didn't even realize to what level and extent. It's like, I did not really see how, hanging out with those people every day was really like affecting my judgment. I'm hearing as well. The Sun in reverse, the ability to recognize, to have the capacity, the energetic sort of like, how do we say, like, the receptivity to what it is that I would resonate with. Okay, should it come along? So it's almost like maybe you were even like missing out on opportunities, but you didn't realize that you were in a certain way. The Sun in reverse. All those cards just fell on the ground. We're left with one stack. Okay, the half of a stack. The Five of Cups in reverse, the Lovers upright in the current state. Yeah, I feel like you just kind of close your eyes. You say, I don't see what this decision leads to. I'm going to just make it. I'm hearing that. King of Cups in reverse. I don't necessarily understand, like, maybe how this would also be a big deal for somebody else, but I'm just going to do what I resonate with. The Chariot, upright in your own, in your advice. Wow, that's your own card in the Major Arcana, Cancer. Let's clear it. Yeah, Leo, Aries. Ooh, yes. Some people may not understand it as well. And let's be honest, if you don't really understand, like, fully in the moment, like, what the gravity is of this decision you're making, maybe others won't as well, right? They won't necessarily see it either, like, but I'm seeing that you're kind of, being a leader here in this space, Cancer, and you have to, again, be brave and just kind of, like, follow your intuition. I'm hearing that again, but always, this is a general reading. Always, also, again, watch the other signs. I watch all signs. I'm technically a sun sign Aries. Sun sign Aries. Okay, well, we could have an Aries watching. That could be a particular message. Let's clear. Yeah, some of you, there was someone affecting you. I'm hearing that as well. Something was actually influencing your judgment. I'm hearing that yet again. There was something. Let's clear it. Yeah, it's like there was something you had to kind of like point out, call out. It wasn't maybe like really it wasn't allowing you maybe to lead in your life. I'm hearing whatever way. The Knight of Swords in reverse. Maybe some of you had to cut off contact here even with someone. This again could be over time. Okay, 6 to 8 months. 8 months I'm hearing as well. And then your future is the Hierophant upright. And your hopes and fears the Devil in reverse. I caught sight of that. I was like, really? Okay. Yeah, Devil in reverse. We had to clear that. I'm hearing that. Okay, 8 of Cups upright leads you out. I'm saying for a number of you, you didn't want to have to say, that's the devil. I'm going to like have to call it out as that. Or I'm going to have to clear out the devil. You don't want to have to see it like that, okay? Well, which Cancer wants to also have to let, someone go and make them feel like they're not invited to the party. There is something here that somebody felt, though, well, not necessarily invited to the party or not. It's just, I don't want to be, kind of like sharing my space here with I'm hearing my home as well with this person, the Devil in reverse. It could be a frequency. I'm just on, all I know is that I'm, again, not attracted to that. Temperance upright in your theme. Have faith in what you value. Cancer. What I was going to say. I'm a sun sign Pisces, and my moon is Sagittarius. My Venus is Aries. My rising is Scorpio. I watch all signs. My Mars is Gemini. I watch all signs, every sign. Even signs that I do not have planets in. For example, Taurus. Okay, I have no personal planets in Taurus. However, I have an angle on Taurus. That's my descendant, because my ascendant is Scorpio. That won't always be the case, especially for those who may have an intercepted house or two or several, however. But I still find that I resonate, of course, with Taurus as well. We're all energies. So feel free to watch the signs that you feel guided to watch, right, in certain periods of time in certain months. Temperance bright, Seven of Wands bright. You have a premonition. I'm hearing that as well, possibly. We're going to pull a card here for each of the days that lead up into this full moon. We're also then going to pull here for the sort of stages of this particular moon cycle from 6 months back and boomeranging up into this full moon in Aquarius. Let's clear the energy and ground. Yeah. Okay, so one more note here. Yeah. Well, let's look at the cards also that fell. The Hangman. Yeah, this is someone else's even habits that were possibly impacting you. You didn't necessarily, feel that it was a problem for you, because let's say you're hanging out with someone, maybe they got a habit here that they're, whatever it is, it's like, oh, but I'm just, what's the worst that could happen? I'm not doing that. But yeah, it's something that was maybe making you feel a certain way, especially Cancer. You're so empathic and sensitive to energy. You'd be amazed, okay, at how much you may absorb, okay, of the energy of others. And literally, it's like, I literally just a moment, did I not just say I'm a sun sign Aries? That's what we're talking about. Like, I'm not a sun sign Aries. So for a number of you, there is something that you were just like absorbing and you didn't really realize, okay, that this was also possibly, this is not really, I'm hearing your story. So let's get the card. Yeah, someone was like influencing you. I'm hearing that. Those moments when like, let's clear it. It's maybe like you have a friend, maybe you're even looking on this space, you're watching someone, you're like, they don't realize like that their behavior is changing. I'm hearing that. Like it's even like a parent who like, they see their child come home from school and it's like, they're acting like a totally different person all of a sudden. It's like, the child doesn't realize it though. They're like, who have you been hanging out with? It's like, what? It's like they're not feeling it maybe. And maybe it's just a matter of in that moment, right? It's like, you didn't quite necessarily, I'm hearing either want to call it out, like you didn't want to, and you didn't necessarily like see it as that, okay, influence. Let's clear it, yeah. So either, I'm saying for a number, you have either a really good friend around you who possibly got very, very tough on you here and like called it out and said, hey, they pointed it out here, or it could be something that, you even like kind of called out on yourself. Again, maybe you were aware of it, but you didn't quite. It's like, well, do I really have to do it? Like, is it a big deal? Okay, let's pull here a card for each of the days. Let's clear in the heart chakra. Queen of Cups in reverse on the 15th, 16th, the moon. Actually, yeah, okay, 15, 16. Let's pull on the 14th, actually, with the Queen of Cups in reverse. The Moon upright. To me, there's something building here, and it's like, I know it. This is coming. The Moon upright, strong Pluto energy, 8th house energy, Mars energy. For some of you, you have to call something out to someone. By the way, we have the Hangman on the floor there. Yeah, for a number of you, you didn't realize to what extent something was actually affecting you. I mean, even your ability to think. Wow. It could actually be something in the diet for those of you who are rising sign Cancer. There could, or even a Mars in Cancer. There was something that you were even ingesting or something that's like in the environment. No, 8 of Pentacles upright. Yeah, this is super karmic, you guys. 8 of Pentacles upright. Here's the Moon. Look at this card. It's like you felt almost, the way you'll know what this is you just felt drained. Like you didn't have time to do the things that you wanted to do. It's like, I feel like I'm not me. Like some of you had to clear cords here, definitely. Yeah, definitely with the 8 of Pentacles. This could even be someone or something in the environment, the home, something that, it's clear, it's kind of like, it's holding some kind of energy and it's not yours. Maybe it's been something that you're not really even looking after for some. It could be something that, let's clear, it's lingering. I'm hearing with the 8 of Pentacles, right? So it could actually be something you're putting off. I'm even seeing that with the 8 of Pentacles, right? 6 of Cups in reverse, mirroring the 9 of Wands in reverse. It could be something that someone's storing in your house. It's like not yours though. I'm hearing that. Let's clear, and that could be on an energetic level. Take it as you will. He asked if he could put his karma in my luggage for a minute. Yeah, all right. It's like, no. I'm hearing that. 6 of Cups in reverse. Okay, I'm hearing, I'm sorry. I'm hearing, yeah. Aaron, like, so you had to say, let's clear, you had to say it to their face, maybe, like, and maybe that's the point. It's like, I never came out and told him clearly, like, I just, like, cleaned it up after he left. It's like, no, now I'm gonna say it. Let's clear it, yeah. Or maybe for a number of you, it's like, I never, like, called it out as something that was, like, harmful or hurtful, but I'm gonna actually call it out. So, for some of you, but this is for yourself. Let's clear it. Yeah, it's not for the sake, I'm not saying you're wanting to make drama. I just caught sight of the Ace of Swords upright. It's not wanting to make an issue. Knight of Swords, King of Cups, both in reverse. For some of you, there was something that was affecting another, or there was something that wasn't manifesting in your own life, and you had to, there was something interrupting that. You had to call it out. No, the Hangman in reverse. Lovers upright. Yeah. Okay, so this is on the 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. I'm hearing, do I have to? Okay, Ace of Pentacles, 9 of Pentacles, 2 of Cups. You know, maybe it gets to the point, Cancer, what pushes you to this edge is, I really want that. Okay, so I'm not going to let that go for sure. So that means I got to let that go. You know, it's like, possibly, you know, making a decision that is not really a decision. It's like, I'm a feeling space and I just, yeah, it's clear. There's definitely a divine order here at play. 10 of Pentacles in reverse, 7 of Swords upright, Ace of Cups upright. Some of you have an awakening here, cleansing. Oh my god, Ace of Cups upright. Big time with the Ace of Cups. And like after that point, especially on the 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, the 18th. Oh my god, the 17th to the 18th. Yeah, no. There's something you experience even, Cancer, and it makes you kind of see everything differently. Like you realize, it's clear, No. I'm seeing, yeah, let's clear. It's something, it's an awakening even for a number of you. Spiritual awakening with Ace of Cups upright. I'm seeing something being like, I'm seeing really bright shining of like sun rays. Wow, here with the World in reverse, with the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, and the Lovers upright. Like, for some, yeah, the 9 of Cups in reverse. Now let's clear it. Let's get to that full moon in Aquarius. 19th is the Lovers and the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. 20th is the Hangman in reverse. 21st. For some of you, like, I feel like someone here is maybe surprised. Maybe they're surprised you made this decision. Yeah, they were not expecting this possibly. Justice in reverse. 3 of Pentacles upright. Ace of Swords upright. For a number of you thwarted someone's plans. I'm seeing that. You should, yeah, let's go. Or you tried to. I'm hearing that, depending on what you're watching for, right? The Ace of Swords upright, if you're a cross watcher, etc. But the 3 of Pentacles upright. Leading out of the Hangman in reverse. That is the, something is ridiculous or like, what? They did what? Okay, like I can't believe that. I'm hearing that Hangman in reverse. 19, 20, 21, 22, 23 is that King of Cups in reverse. So on the full moon in Aquarius, I feel like some of you, you're moving out of a space. I'm hearing that as well. This is shocking. If you are moving out of a space, I'm seeing it could also be spiritually, like you're in transit, you're definitely ascending, Cancer, I'm hearing that as well. You're making decisions that are right for you, but it's maybe for every private. You're not telling necessarily everyone about that. You're not telling anybody about this. That's the point. I'm hearing that as well. You're getting rid of stuff. I'm seeing that as well. A lot of clearing here, Cancer. You got almost every court, like that comes through, every court card in reverse, save the King of Wands, and the Seven of Swords. That mirrors that, but that's just a memory. I'm hearing that. There's some, let's clear it. Now you're like, now you're focused. You're like, now I can see clearly. Now I know what I need to get rid of. Okay. You really learned a lesson here, man. That as well. If something feels like more obvious to you, Five of Swords. Yeah, you might actually be calling in help for this, wanting assistance here. Some of you are actually like moving something. I'm hearing free at last, chandelier. I'm hearing that. Someone maybe gets rid of an object. It was like in the way. Strength card of bright. Yeah, you realize like it wasn't really doing me any good anyways. I'm hearing that a service. Queen of Wands in reverse, Strength of bright. Some of you had to train an animal. I'm seeing that like once and for all. It's like I have to tell him like who he is to me, because maybe someone was trying to they were impeding on your space. Let's clear it. Again, this could be energy from the past. Let's clear it. Yep, 2 wands. No. You had to kind of like redirect someone, even in the room. Some of you maybe hired someone for a gig, or I'm seeing someone is like coming over your house even like all the time. It's like, no, I gotta tell him like it doesn't matter like if we're friends, like this is not let's clear it. This is not at the heart of the matter. Oh, so maybe something was even distracting. It's like kind of like telling your friend, hey, we gotta do our homework now, okay? I mean that 5 of Wands in reverse. There's a card that fell on the ground. You got the Hermit upright. Yeah, some of you have a major realization. This is spiritual awakening. No question, no doubt. Cancer, you lay, I'm hearing something so karmic down to rest. I'm hearing that as well with the 2 of Pentacles in reverse. That was a weight. Ooh, I feel it after I let it go. Something like that. But I realized it before I let it go that, you know what? I feel, and you got very strong intuition here, Cancer, right? Those who have a lot of Cancer in the chart. Sun Cancer, Moon Cancer. Yeah. I don't know why I feel I need to move this object over there to the other side of the room. All right, I'm doing it. I'm just like listening to my intuition. Whoa, that really cleared the vibe of the discussion we had earlier in relation to the doorway in that room. Let's clear. I don't know what that could be a metaphor. For a number of you, you don't realize maybe how someone is actually, for a number of you, possibly even they're involved in your business. Yep, they were, and it was really not it was not opening the. It's like something was blocking the door. Okay, now let's get the card off the ground, the 5 Pentacles. Yeah, you guys are mirror in the Tower. I feel like, let's clear it. You kind of don't even see it, how important it was that you let this go. Again, I'm saying like that with a double of prey. Possibly for a number of you, you ascend once you make this decision, right? It's kind of like saying, well, I make this short-term decision. It's kind of like is it a sacrifice? I don't know. It's, you want to move again. Let's clear it. Clearly in another sort of orientation, another direction. Okay, to work, I'm here even on another project. But when you do decide finally to do that, okay, it doesn't necessarily point out, okay, what was wrong with the past immediately. This is something that maybe you, it's something that I'm hearing is realized down the line, is real, becomes real, maybe manifests down the line. How do we say this? It's almost as if something was an obstacle, but you didn't see it until you kind of like, you clear the path of everything. I'm also seeing that. Oh, interesting. And then I'm seeing that you kind of were able to observe what was in your life in the past a little more clearly. So you see what I'm saying? It's like I start back at square one, and then I'm able to kind of see, whoa, those were elements involved in my decision-making process, but I wasn't able to sort of identify them as that. Let's clear it. So it's kind of like clearing the whole table off. You know when you got like so much on the table? It's like too messy. You got too much going on, okay, on the proverbial table, maybe of your life. It's like in your lifestyle. I'm here for a number, in your diet, you like fast maybe for a few days, or let's say you just take everything off the table and then you're able to organize it better. The Hermit in reverse, the Page of Cups upright, but it might even feel like kind of an illusion in the beginning. Sorry, I'm trying to turn the light on. Got a little confused there. Page of Cups upright. It's like at first you're like, but wait, I want to organize it on the table eventually, so why would I take it off the table? It's kind of like, that feeling in the moment. You're like, doesn't really make sense. Does it really? Maybe I should leave everything on the table, try to organize it while it's all on the table at the same time. No. So for a number, you had to wipe something off, okay? Really clear something out. Now, okay, for a number, though, there was a sentimental side to this. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It does feel karmic. That's kind of the point, okay? Yes, Ace of Swords in reverse, 10 of Swords in reverse for a number of you. Yes, yeah. This is affecting maybe like the lifestyle of another, but it's like, I'm sorry, you have to be on your way. This came through in the Pisces reading for July 1st to the 15th. The Fool is in reverse. And the title of that reading was, quite literally, you got to let the past go to be able to move into the future. So take it as you will if you feel guided to watch that reading. Now let's pull a card here for the 6 month to the current state. Thank you, Cancer, again for tuning in. If this is your first time, feel free to subscribe if you feel that you resonate with the channel content, and if you want to get notified, of course, of new readings. If you resonate with these messages, and again want to get sort of notified. For a number of you, this is your social sort of relationship space that. Yep, it's your social relationship space that you feel I need to call this out. I'm hearing that yet again, and you feel maybe that's like these are childhood friends, like it may hurt their feelings, but you got to just say it as it feels. That it feels to you, okay? Like as it feels to you. The Queen of Wands in reverse. This is 6 months ago. Yeah, it's clear. Someone was not a good influence. I'm hearing that, unfortunately. Take it as you will, maybe, but it's not that you, how do we say? Again, I didn't quite see it. I didn't realize it. Yeah, as that, like, it was kind of like something you worked with or you worked around. 6 of Pentacles upright. For a number of you, this can be your own energy. Like, you were not feeling yourself. You're not feeling empowered, excited. And maybe, it gets to the point where you now are able to at least see it, what it is that you're feeling, okay? It's like, maybe you're just feeling like something's just off, but let's clear it around. Love and light to everybody here. Yeah, you didn't want to tell them directly, but like now you're like, yeah, this is actually affecting my, can I keep doing that? Maybe for a number of you, it's like, if in the relationship you feel like you keep having to like almost like reiki the relationship, like maybe it's even a conversation you keep getting into with someone, it's kind of like negative, or you feel like it's just like negating from the other kind of conversation that you could be having, and it's just like not happening. For a number of you, there was also just way too much drama here going on with the Queen of Wands in reverse. It's like you were really trying, to kind of see where this can go, but the Queen of Wands in reverse, no. For a number of you, this is how someone else was living their life. Again, you're looking in on the space, and it was like maybe even kind of like depressing you a little bit. I'm seeing that with the Queen of Wands in reverse. Yeah, you could not be there for them in the way maybe that they needed to be there for themselves ultimately, and so you decided to not entertain that conversation. And was it hard? Absolutely, because you kind of let that person kind of so-called like sit in their own misery. No offense, love and light, but you had to kind of like see it for what it is. Now, for a number of you, this is you realizing possibly those have a lot of fire in your chart, especially realizing I'm not in my prime right now. I'm not feeling like who I could feel myself to be. And there are factors here that you now call out. With the 6 of Pentacles, you're coming down to it, Cancer. The actual factors, again, we're going from theory to practice. I no longer want to see it as something that, well, maybe it's like this, and we'll all come back to thinking about that again. It's like, no, let's really break it down. Say, what's wrong here? What's going on here? And what do I need to really revitalize, reinstate in my life? For a number of you, it's a relationship to certain things. Some of you want to really simplify something here. Yeah, for a number of you, this is something you're involved in or something. The Moon in reverse in the environment. This is like very kind of, maybe there's something sneaky going on with the Sun of Swords. I don't know. Let's clear it. It's like too many facts. Let's clear it. It's an environment. It's for a number of you, an environment or something around you that was not really of the light. I'm hearing that with the Moon in reverse. Yes. It's like you did not realize, again, maybe I'm seeing you wanted to disconnect from a certain family here. I'm hearing that as well. Not sure what that could, this is a general reading for thousands of people, right, at times. So always take it as you will. But there was someone who someone who felt, I don't know what's going on in their family, but like, I just feel like I gotta really kind of release myself from this storyline a little bit. And oh boy, yeah, I feel like you did not see what is kind of happening behind the scenes sort of vibe. The 5 of Pentacles of bright leads you out. Let's clear it. Yep. For a number of you, it's something financially. Like maybe you kind of realize, well, all I see is the financial side of the story. I don't really see much else. So, and this could be again years, but let's go. Stories. For a number of you, this is something, it was an industry, and it just wasn't feeling right to you. So thank you for tuning in, Cancer. Enjoy this period.